stop. Keep on, I said it ain't gon' stop. It ain't gon' stop, it ain't gon' flop. Stop acting like we ain't so hot.
People, this is Inflewence. Back with another video. And this is FT-29 QUIETUS, which is fans' toys. Cyclonus. So he will be referred to as Cyclonus for the rest of this review. Trying to get the box. The box is pretty big. You know, familiar with fans' toys, they have a good box, good artwork, good masterpiece looking box. And I don't know if you can read that. It looks like Star Wars right now. But yeah, so not spectacular with the box. Get his weapons. Get a lot of accessories actually with this guy. The book, of course, is a nice booklet as usual. Get his weapon, which is the toy weapon from G1. This is what came with the toy. And then you have this weapon, which is his cartoon weapon, which is what he wielded in the cartoon. I like both weapons. I actually like this a lot, even though it's just a single cast with no paint on it. It could have used some paint. I think the toy has some paint. But this has paint and a lot of breakup. Also, I like all his accessories. He also comes with the Targetmaster, which is on him. And I just wanted to show that off because I know people were saying that they couldn't find a way to put the Targetmaster on. So there's these two little holes back here, and his feet go in those holes. That's not a great fit. You can get it in there, but then it'll pop off because of the paint. If it wasn't painted, I'm glad it's painted though. So here he is in vehicle mode. I think they've done a great job. Another great job. I think this is one of the best figures they've come out with, in my opinion, as far as looks. Now, you know, their engineering can be kind of grueling, which this is no different. There's a couple, actually it's not super hard, and the engineering is kind of ingenious, but there's a couple places that they should have done something else. And I don't know, I don't engineer Transformers, as I said before. So who am I to tell them what they could have done? Maybe this is the only way they could have pulled this alt mode off. I don't know. And we know fans' toys is more for sculpt than maybe transformations. There's other companies that do similar characters and their transformations are better, but they're not going to look like they look in robot mode. You also get trying to get in there. Looks like remnants of a little cockpit. I don't know if anything could fit in there. And I know people were having trouble with this cockpit. Mine seems to be good because I did scrape off a little bit in here. There's this peg that comes through this little hole. I mean, it was minute. I'll probably put it on the screen now and just show you what I did with just this screwdriver, my trusty Warbotron screwdriver that I've had from Warbotron when I bought Warbotron figure, Bruticus. But yeah, I just scraped the inside and I was good. That was it. Now it seems to sit as flush as the rest of the panels. I mean, it is panelly, but I believe it should be panelly. Here's the underside. Kind of looks like a folded up robot. But what can you expect? I think they did a great job. Yeah, some thrusters. Yeah, you have these thrusters. I even like this. These little pieces in the feet. They're like little bottom thrusters. You have landing gear. This comes out. All right, little malfunction there. Like I was saying, the thrusters, you have the landing gear that pop out of the feet, that fold up in there. And I couldn't even tell they were there once in robot mode. When you fold them up, it just looked like a flat panel. So I couldn't even really find them. Have landing gear in the front. I do want to point out that the landing gear isn't the best in the front because it goes forward. I wish companies would always make it come, see how it pops out from the front. It should pop out from the back and go forward a little bit, so when you're leaning the weight on there, it's not trying to pop in. I think that's the main thing. And maybe when it wasn't painted, the wheels went all the way back and it was fine. I don't know, but I'm not risking snapping at all. But it works fine as long as you don't put no pressure on it. It does roll as fake rolling. So get into this guy. This guy is, I like him, I think, better than Cup's Targetmaster. What is he? Nightstick. So it's simple. Of course, split the legs, go around, then you pull this down, spin that around, put his arms, flip his arms, flip his arms around. Then you put his barrel to the back, of course. Oh, you gotta put this up first. It kind of locks his waist. He does have waist swivel, which is kind of cool. Then pull his head around. So yeah, there you go, Nightstick. I believe it's Nightstick. And that symbol. That symbol's probably gonna go because I don't like it for when it's off. And I just put it on there because he is kind of plain. His legs are painted, unlike Cup's Targetmaster, whose legs were not painted. They were just like gray plastic, which I like. I like his better, but he does have a bigger barrel on the back. There's no telescoping. You can't. I wish they would have had it like fold up one more time, maybe up here, but it's all right. But then they would have had an enormous backpack. So I guess you get what you get. No holes in his hands. His articulation is pretty much the same as a little Legends figure with diecast. I mean, with diecast. He has no diecast, I don't think. With ball joints, I meant to say. So set him over here for now. And tackle this guy. This transformation, like I said, isn't terrible, but it is pretty involved. There's a lot of sliding places to slide and panels, and it's hard to get these just right. And I'll let you know, like, coming back, I like to transform them from vehicle, well, from how they don't come. So this came in robot mode, so that's why I want to transform it from plane mode. But let's get one more look at it. I definitely feel like this is Cyclonus. It's like weird jet mode. It's pretty big too. I wish I had something to compare it to, but I don't. I'm sure you guys by now have. Now this right here, this is one of the pieces that I hate. There's a peg, and you have to, and I may do a lot of this off camera just because I don't want to break anything, because you got to be delicate around. But there's a peg in there that a flip out peg, but the way this is engineered is so hard to get. And like I said, let me go off camera. So like you pull that out and then you can flip this up, and this peg, when you're going the other way, this peg is a beast because it just, you gotta flex it. There's a lot of pieces that gotta flex. I hate flexing stuff around things. Let me see if I can get this one. See that peg? There you go. But see how you had to flex it, and then you can push that peg down. But yeah, there's a lot of places where that happens. You want to get that out the way. It's like a cover panel just to cover this gap, which I do like that they made a lot of panels to cover gaps and stuff. And I think these wings are probably one of the most, the greatest engineering, how they chose to do them on this figure, because I like how it hides them. So let's do the wings. Pull this out a little bit, flex it. See, you have to flex it a little bit, but then it's on like a double hinge. So you just put it, and you can pull this piece. You can pull it down, but I like to pull it out a little bit, then push it down. And then you have this piece right here that slides up. So it gives it an even better, so then I just flex this up like that. Then this piece right here, you just get them out the way. You just want to do that. Both sides. These wings right here, the arms, you just want to pull out, but you got to be careful. That's the only thing. That's why I like to get this out the way, because then you can get your fingers in here. Actually, I like doing it like this because it's easier. There's some pegs right here that the arms are on, and you just pull that out. Sounds like it's going to break, and who knows? I don't want to do it too many times. Then these arms you want to get situated. So you push this up so you can, when you're twisting this arm, this thing right here, one side is raised more than the other. So you need to go whichever way the side isn't raised so you can get this over top of it. I think it's this way. Yeah, you go the other way, you're going to hit it. Then you can slide that up. You pretty much got the arms done. See, you can't go that way because you hit that ridge. But you go this way, there's no ridge there. So, arms are done. Let's pop up this a little bit. And this is what I mean when I say it's tight. It's a lot of tight joints. They've gotten looser for me. I do have a little bit of nails, so I can get in there, but be careful because there's some paint. Could have some paint issues. Now this, I'm just prying open. You're not gonna be able to lift it all the way up because it's on this L thing. This L-like joint, so I just want to get it away from. And there's some pegs in here. They give me problems. When I fold them, you're supposed to fold them down so they go in the legs. You'll see the holes, but it's easier if you don't fold them down. When I fold them down, then you gotta have them just right, and they go in those holes in there. And if it's not just right, then they're gonna give you problems pegging up here. It's just a mess. So I don't even fold those down. I know some people might want to do 100% what they're supposed to do, but it doesn't make a difference to this thing. It still sits flush. It's just not locked in, but it doesn't move around because it has everything else around it. Pull this chest piece and just pull it up. So now you can get to the legs. Now the legs are kind of cool because it has this extra to keep it together, but they gotta move in order to have it as the legs. So let's see. This right here can be a bear because you have those legs. The legs got to stay in there over top of the foot, and all has to be collapsed together. But coming the other way, it's all right. You just open it up and it automatically like takes the leg out. Then you can spire it up. This you gotta flex, and as you can see, flexed. I think that's from me. I don't know if that's from me or from the factory, but there's definitely scrapage inside, and I know it's inside, but still, that's not ideal. I wish they would have engineered that different. It would have been better. So, but then it's easy. Just get those legs back together. Oh, forgot a step. Got to put this thruster in so it gives it the clean look. Got a leg done besides the landing gear. Put a landing gear up. Leg done. Yeah, coming this way is definitely easier than going to it. I don't know why, but this is really tight. So you gotta be careful when you're trying to flex. If you're trying to flex it and move it, you can't. Just hold it, move it. Really, I mean, you gotta flex it and move it, but it's a beast. Thruster in. Then the leg. There's a peg right here in the leg. Oh, let me do this. You can even see that. Bend that down. Okay. Bend that up. Really, that's just like some extra lockage. Whew. So the leg's done. I'll work on this mess. This isn't really that hard if you get it correct. Let's open this up. I just like to open all this up just to get it kind of out the way, because then you don't have to, because it locks on this part. So then you can just shoot. You ain't got to worry about unlocking or whatever. This is pretty cool. I like that they added that touch. And this right here, get this up. This is where his head is. Actually, you can do this too. Nah, you can leave this. Just leave this down here, cause you gotta fool with this. Now you can rock his arms. This is probably if I can get him. Now it's hard to get off of this. Man. There we go. Now you can work with this. He has to move all the way. He has to move up like this. These are on swings and they gotta move together. So if you can just get this out the way and just move this like this. I just like to hold it by his legs like this and move both of them, because they both got to move at the same time. See what type of mechanism they're on. So they actually swing up. But you can just move it just so you can get room. And moving it back, you get all this room right here. So you're going to need it. Put this in there. Then you can move this like this. So, and this. Leave it like this, because you're going to have to push this down. Okay. About to break it. About to break it. Don't do that. Did it too early. Did it too early. Now I can slide down. You can fold this, but don't fold it in yet. Don't lock. It can lock up here. That's what keeps it up, actually. So that's where I went wrong. I had folded it down and locked it too much. You can fold this in, because you're going to have to fold it in anyway. But you got to push this down first. And it goes down pretty easy. I do have some concerns because this is paint and it seems to be scraping on the paint. It's on a rail, so that's how it's sliding down, but I don't know if it's touching. I guess it doesn't. I guess it's not. There's a little gap there, but yeah, that seems like something that would be of concern. So once it's down, then you can put it down, because then it like locks it down. So Now this can be tricky because you want all this in here. Oh, and you have to, his head goes down. So you want to pull it up, turn it around, face reveal. So you want this to slide all the way in and up under here, and kind of like keeps the head from sliding and gives it a more sturdier feel. Can be rather challenging because you got to get all this stuff. I don't even know if I was on the camera. All this stuff around here. So I usually just like to hold these and try to, you know, have my thumbs underneath. Just little tricks. You gotta make sure you're getting all this together. This right here, this has to go under. See? And I don't know if that was blurry, but when I pushed it, it easily went under. That is because this is like the 100th time I transformed this. So that's the only reason. Now you can bring these all the way up to their final position, which I'll show that again. Well, a little bit. Like you just bring these up to here because now this chest plate has these places to grab into, and it also keeps it together. So I like to get that together. Then this goes down. This backpack, I'm not sure if I ever done it right. I just don't know. I just don't remember, and try to get these flat. But I don't remember if, I know it was like this, but I don't know if it was tabbed in or not because it's not tabbed in right now. So therefore, now you get these wings situated. For the most part, they are. But then you have like a tab here that keeps them together. And you also have tabs here that keep these two together. So they're really compact, and I love how the wings are because it's almost, I think in the cartoon, they almost like disappeared, but you know how that is. To the other side. Down his fist. And last but not least, move these. Now I think they're on like a yeah, they move with each other out and in. I like that. It's probably some type of gear. But and this came undone. That's the first time that's done that on me. Heavy figure, diecast. I think there's diecast. This is diecast. His feet are diecast. He has diecast joints at the knees. I'm 21 in the QC department. What else is diecast? I think no, these are plastic. They feel diecast. I don't know. I can't tell if his shoulders. I think his shoulders are plastic, but he is great. Like I said, he's a great figure. This is going to be a little longer video because he also comes with, which I didn't show, and I'm going to show in a minute, his IDW accessories to make him into the IDW version of Cyclonus. And I'm not an IDW fan. I can't say fan. I just have no connection with IDW. I'm trying to get into it now, and I'm afraid. I'm actually afraid too, because I'm afraid I'm gonna like a lot of the characters because they look cool. I mean, I got IDW Overlord, which I love that figure, and I'm not even really connected to Overlord, to tell you the truth. But I'm definitely not connected to the IDW version. So, I mean, I know the character. But this, so let me go through some of his regular accessories. For some reason, this gun won't fit over here. I don't know if it's the paint or what, but he just won't hold it. And but over here, he will. Over her. Okay, I'm about to make a liar out of myself. So you see, he's holding it without his hands even being around it. Maybe I just didn't get it in right here. Oh, okay. So I'm a liar. Yeah, it pops out though. It's definitely, I believe, because of the paint. But if you get your arms around it, it's fine. This gun is great. I love the look of this gun. I don't know why. I mean, it's the toy gun. I never had the toy as a kid. I had Galvatron. I remember Galvatron. But I never had Cyclonus. And I don't know, maybe because of the way he looked. He was kind of weird looking. But yeah, there you go with those. And let's get his... So let's get his Targetmaster in there, and he holds this well, as I think I'm gonna show in the, or I'm just lying all over. He was holding, yeah, see, he holds it well. His arms even, it will come out as well, but there you go. And he, of course. There we go. Trying to get it. So if you want to stick around, I'm going to go over articulation. So articulation, I'm not the best poser of figures, but he has great articulation. Double jointed knees. He has a rocker. He has a toe tilt. Not much up. He can get like this. He has this backpack that's a little bit in the way, so he doesn't get that far. He can get up. These can lift up somewhat, but I do have I think a scratch on one of mine. Right here. I don't know if you can see that. I scraped off the paint from trying to lift this skirt up. It's hard. This whole thing will come off, and I found that if you just pull it, I don't know if they made it like that, but if you just pull it out a little bit, see, it'll come off. It's just a peg. I'm not sure why they glued that, but maybe that's why, because if you pull it up a little bit, then you can kind of, it's not as far back. I guess you can get that anyway, but it just messes up that paint. But yeah, like I said, back isn't great. You can get out to the sides, and that's friction. I think he has a waist swivel, little one. I'm not sure, but I think you got to get that out the way again. No, you know what? I'm lying. I don't think he has a waist swivel. I know he still does stuff well. He gets that. His head spins around. It's on like a hinge, so he gets up and down nicely. He's a pretty big figure. I think one of my only gripes is he's smaller than Ultra Magnus, and I just remember him fighting Ultra Magnus and them being kind of like enemies after, because you know Ultra Magnus was like second in command, and he was like second in command of the Decepticons. So now that goes, but put this knee back right. But yeah, they're and the knees, you know, they have good joints. You can't even see that. They have good joints, so they can be moved around in different ways. So you can get a good knee poses, like bent knees, you know, like one of these numbers, and get his. I'm not a great poser. I'm not a great poser, but I'm just saying, like, you can see for yourself, like, he has the ability to do stuff like that. He's well balanced. I don't know if I can get him on one leg. Nah, I can't. I probably could if I had time. I don't. This video's already long as hell. So now I'm gonna switch out and turn him into the IDW. In order to put the head on, there's these screws right here. I know people have been stripping them. I'm hoping my trusty Warbitron screwdriver that's made for those type of screws, well, not those type, but I'm hoping they do the trick. If not, I won't be back. Yeah, so there are a lot of accessories in the box. Besides it, all the things I've shown is his Targetmaster, the guns. He does have a card, of course. I didn't show that. Wanted to show that. He has the like I said, the IDW face with the broken horns, and then they even gave you one with the intact horns. And you can put the intact horns on here if you want. So it's basically the same horn. So yeah, this face right here is, I don't know how accurate it is. Like I said, I don't really know about or have a connection to the IDW world, but still, it's great. You got faces. They give you a screaming face and this regular face without the little beard piece. Then you have the screaming face with the beard piece. I like the little beard piece. I like the stoic face, like just looking, but I like the little beard piece and I like the kind of yelling. So who knows? You also get these swords. The two swords, they're nice, painted nice, look nice. They have these sheaths on them too. I don't know. I know they're hard to get off. Like I was saying, they're very hard to get off. There you go. Now, I don't know how much that's going to scrape the paint, but I think you have to take them off for the other mode. I mean, to wear them, because then you have these, which they already have they have the side panels, his side skirts, I guess, to turn him in. And I think that's cool. Like, even though I'm not really into the IDW, I think that's great, especially for people that are. Like, you hit two, and I think it's kind of more bang for your buck. I guess it's niche. I don't know if it's niche. Maybe more people like IDW than G1 cartoon, but for me, I'm about G1 cartoon mostly. But it's cool. You hit two birds with one stone, and I kind of feel like sometimes I feel like these figures aren't worth what we pay for them, or, you know, worth the price, because I don't always pay. You know, I'm not the first one to have figures because I look for a deal quick. But I can say I'm happy with this purchase. Just the figure itself, the way it feels, and also just the amount of stuff that you get with it. I can say it's a good value. So when I'm gonna put everything on. I'm not gonna show that, but like I said, you just take I think you take his head off with these screws, and I'm gonna try off camera because I don't want to strip them. So I'll be back. So just to let you know, I wanted to interject for a second. There's 3 screws. There's one under the faceplate in the front, and there's 2 in the back to take it off. So I got it off, and on the IDW face, there's one under the faceplate. So that's the only one you have to take off the faceplate to get it off. Also, as suspected, it's on a little gear system, which I think that's cool, but I'm gonna stop playing with it before I break it. All right, so I just IDW'd him up, and I can't lie, like, this is, like, it's nuts. It's so dope looking. I know you can't transform with the stuff on, but just, I guess he was a samurai, and I mean, I could see it, and he has the samurai helmet in his face. I actually didn't screw this together, but it's holding pretty well. So if you just want it on the shelf, if you want to take the heads, you know, off and on, it's actually holding great. I mean, he can't, of course, you can get him to look down. He looks up about that much, but I gotta hold it because like I said, I'm putting the old head back on, so I didn't screw it on. But there you go, IDW. So thanks for tuning in this long video. I'm grateful that you guys watch me. Whoever does watch me, if you watch me this long, it's even greater. So shout out to you. Hit me with a subscribe or a thumbs up. This has been Fans Toys Quietus, Cyclonus, G1, and IDW, as you can see. Yeah, so this is a easy recommended figure, no matter what, like for your collection, especially if you got Galvatron and I wish I don't have Galvatron or damn, my brain is going, you know who I'm talking about, the sweeps. Like, subscribe, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, comment, let me know what you think. All right.
Hip hop, I feel I gotta say, who am I? You might say influence, and I spit better than most in this game.